Okay, folks, it's 8 o'clock, and I know we're going to have a busy day because I've got a meeting every hour on the hour between now and about 2 o'clock. I'm going to ask Representative Johnny Carson if he'll open us with prayer.
Will you bow your heads with me? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. And thank you for the ability to serve the state. Father, I ask you bless our time together, bless our families, and the decisions that be upholding to you, Father. We ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
Yeah. Okay. A little technical business I need to take care of first. We've got some Senate bills that have been assigned to this committee, and I'm going to go ahead and assign them to subcommittee so they can start taking a look at them. And I would encourage you to take a good, close look at them. Senate Bill 18 will go to Health and Life. Senate Bill 118 will go to Health and Life. 142 will go to Health and Life. And 156 will go to Administration and Licensing. 142. 18, 118, 142 all go to Health and Life. And 156 goes to Administration and Licensing. And we've got 2 or 3 more that'll be dribbling in after tomorrow. Okay. Representative Rhodes, the floor is yours, sir. You know, I've always heard that it was stated that if a bill had more than 3 or 4 pages, vote no, because there's something in there that's going to bite you. Now, since this bill did not have a chance to go before a subcommittee, since I think it was transferred yesterday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Into our committee, I will allow you to have your guest there to testify if there's any questions. Now, I do understand that Representative Noel Williams does have a couple of questions for you, and I do understand what you told him. Now,
You gonna sell tickets?
I want to sell tickets. That's right. Okay, House Bill 540. It's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Good morning to y'all on this good, cool, brisk morning. Bring before you House Bill 540. And House Bill 540 brings the Georgia Low-Income Housing Tax Credit in line with the majority of state low-income housing tax credit laws by including the insurance retaliatory tax among the credits against the premium tax. HB 540 will increase the amount of capital available for low-income housing projects in Georgia by opening up usage of the credit to insurance companies subject to the retaliatory tax. HB 540 will have no fiscal impacts. Credits are capped annually based on federal allocation. House Bill 540 is consistent with the Georgia Rural Jobs Act, which also includes retaliatory tax as part of its premium tax credit. And just a few notes, you know, Georgia, we're one of the few states, really the only state in the Southeast that has a federal program and a state program that puts us ahead of the game. And I think we passed that state program in 2000. So it's almost 20 years old, and we are way ahead of the game and kind of the model of the Southeast, and one of the other reasons that we're number one state in the nation to do business in. So if there are further questions, I've got Tony Toops with me here from Advantage Capital that they do.
Let him explain a little bit what they're wanting to do.
Okay, sure.
And identify yourself again.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Tony Toops, Advantage Capital. Thank you for having me this morning. Sure. So the intent of the bill is to make it consistent with other Georgia premium tax credit programs such as the Georgia Rural Jobs Act and other state low-income housing tax credit programs, which typically, when a credit is offered against premium tax, it usually includes the retaliatory tax. So of the other states that have it, this would put Georgia back into the mainstream with those consistent with states such as Illinois and Wisconsin, Colorado, Oklahoma that do offer a state level tax credit. And as Representative Rhodes said, there's no fiscal change here because Georgia law caps its annual LIHTC allocation credit at the federal amount. So this retaliatory tax, I don't know if anyone would like to know what that does, but real
Yeah,
quickly.
explain that to them.
Sure. So it's part. Okay. Sure. So it's a little obscure.
Excuse me, for those of y'all who don't know, the retaliatory tax or the premium tax, that's the reason Aflac is not domiciled in Georgia and it's domiciled in Nebraska. Am I correct?
I don't know the
Yeah.
answer to that.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
Columbus, so isn't it?
Yeah,
Sure. So the retaliatory. So every state has a premium tax, which typically it's a percentage of the amount of premiums collected and paid by the citizens of the state to the insurance companies. So, for example, if it's a 3% state set premium tax rate, the retaliatory tax says that if a Georgia insurance company doing business, for example, in New York, is taxed at a different rate, a higher rate by the state of New York, then Georgia, quote unquote, retaliates by taxing a New York insurance company at the rate that New York taxes the Georgia insurance company. I think that's a fairly straightforward explanation.
but unfortunately, our premium tax is a little high.
That in fact may be the case, but the retaliatory tax is a thing that other insurance companies doing business here in Georgia have to pay and face. So to offer a credit is consistent with what other states that offer premium tax credits and Georgia did in other programs.
Right. Okay,
And I think, would you tell them the amount that this would open up to go towards the projects here in the state?
Sure, we figured maybe open up another 10 million a year of capital to go into low-income housing projects. As Representative Rhodes said, Georgia was a leader in the country in having a state LIHTC. You passed it in 2000 and have done very well with it. Georgia's, I think, a national model for constructing low-income housing units and has utilized that program very well.
okay. Any questions? Number 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for bringing the bill. Affordable housing is something that is very important in the city of Atlanta. And so I'm sure that you know there was a study committee on the low-income housing tax credits over the past 2 years through the Senate. And then the Department of Community Affairs also spoke up about one of the recommendations, which was that the tax credit would sunset in 2020. So help me understand how you're bringing this bill when the recommendation of the study committee was to to sunset the tax credit.
I would say this obviously assumes that the law goes forward. I don't believe that was put in place, the sunset, and this would assume that Georgia continues with its low-income housing program.
Okay, just a follow-up. So have you spoken with DCA or with the study committee members about that recommendation?
I have not.
No, I have not, but it's such an important program. I'm sure that program won't go by the wayside.
Okay, well, that's all the questions I see. Representative Carson.
Mr. Chairman, I could shed some light on that, but.
Please do. I know you're gonna recuse yourself, but please do.
All the members of the committee, this is my business, and Tony, thank you for being here. I work for a tax credit firm in Buckhead that competes, a friendly competitor with Advantage. I'm happy to shed some light on this, but I don't want it to sound slight or biased or what have you, and I will need to recuse myself. Basically, the retaliatory tax is exactly what Tony mentioned. We have a high a premium tax here in Georgia, so there's not many times that Georgia charges a higher retaliatory tax because a state, by definition, would have to have a higher tax than us for Georgia to charge a retaliatory tax, right? Most states are, for example, property and casualty insurance policies. We charge, I think, Tony's at 4 3/4 all in between state and local. So there's only like 3 states that are higher than that. So there's not a lot of retaliatory tax. It's correct that this, even though we're talking about tax credits, this does not need a fiscal note because you're not talking about increasing the number of credits. You're talking about increasing where you could use those credits. You understand? So if I say, I've got a Georgia film credit and I can use it against income tax or corporate tax, it'd be like saying I'm bringing a bill and I can use it against income tax, corporate tax, and maybe this sales tax over here. We're not increasing the number of credits, we're increasing its usage. I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Okay. And you are going to recuse yourself.
I do need to, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there,
Can I ask Tony, do you agree with what I just mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will just basically increase the amount of capital that's readily available for these projects and allow them to get done quicker and easier.
okay. Well, I don't see any other questions. Do I hear a motion? All right. I've only got one question. Where is the question?
I'll see him later.
Oh, okay. Okay. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I'm recused on the,
Do what?
I'm recused on the record.
Okay. On House Bill 84, last week when we went through this bill, and this, what this is a technical correction. House Bill 84, we went through it last week, and the changes that as it related to the alternative dispute resolution that we turned in, inadvertently got put on the wrong substitute. Now, the correct substitute is there before. It's the same one that we voted on last time. So all this is just a technical correction for placing the new language as it related to dispute resolution on the correct LC number. That's the only thing it does. Nothing else changes. So in order for this to proceed, I'll need a motion to do pass, and then I'll go turn in a new form.
So moved.
Okay? All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, one no. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Y'all have a great day, and I hope you've got a real good start for the day.